What is going on, family? Welcome back to the channel. I had to make this video because a lot of people seem to think that either the bull market is over or they are very, very scared. And I spend most of my time providing good quality data. Big up to the VIP group. And I've just about sorted out the bits and pieces on the WAP. Link is in the description, guys. Come and join us so you can get to know the macro. But a few weeks ago, I posted this article. Morning update, fear and greed at 69%. Things are heating up fast. We've hit 69%. This is wild, which means we must stay sharp over the next few weeks. Reminder of the 90-day plan, of course, as expected, one or two last major traps before the market moves. Fed TGA account and all of the technicalities. Announcement of macro pivot normally leads to a sell the news. And to be honest with you, the worst of the worst of the worst is basically the Bitcoin, not the Bitcoin whales, but the exchanges. So they're telling us that the Bitcoin whales are manipulating the price, but these are the headlines. US stock markets hit the most expensive valuation in history, surpassing the dot-com bubble and the run-up to the Great Depression. The headlines are very, very much consistent. Bitcoin whale wakes up. They are conditioning us to believe in this is what's going on. But this is the true picture. The true picture is 96% longs getting smashed. People have been long since the start of August, late July, right? We had that incredible run, and these scammy exchanges don't actually give a damn, and they manipulate what they can whenever they can. So this has been absolutely horrific in terms of how they set this up from Friday night onwards. If you're long in the market, right, you are not at the end of their wrath. What's coming up next? Well, expect major economic shift moving into the weekend, which means the weekend typically has low volume. And this means, what do you expect from Friday's report? Because Friday, we have an inflation reading. And of course, this is absolutely going to go down with the exchanges like a treat. Core inflation is already up, but what's coming up actually is the personal consumption report. Now, if you think of Powell saying, okay, the conditions warrant a pivot that could head into stagflation, which means high unemployment and high interest rates, personal consumption, or the PC expenditure report, is going to come out. And of course, this is going to measure a key economic indicator for goods and services for the people of the United States. In addition to that, you have the fear and greed sitting at 46. This is a very reliable reading of the fear and greed. And of course, this may well go into a proper fear. Now, I'm not scaremongering you, but this is what I said a few weeks ago. Again, I published this many weeks ago, but listen to this. Sell what you can when you can. And essentially, I don't really mean you start offloading your bags, but some people sitting in pretty comfortable positions, especially in my own group, where I constantly update them on the macro, 24/7, 365, 40, 50 posts sometimes in a day. And this is now where things are. Well explained there, Mohammed. And this is what I was saying. They will forever use these events. Of course, the macro picture is not 100% clear. And we talked about this. We talked about the variable, which is the tariffs that can come up anytime. And I'm not being bearish here, by the way. I'm being incredibly bullish. However, manipulation knows no boundaries. And what you're seeing here, like we said, is exchanges taking full advantage of the situation. And that leaves us in a very precarious short-term situation. The macro picture will clear up at some point. Bitcoin is dropping like a stone. I mean, look at this. This is Tau, right? I said Tau will come down to these levels. It's now approaching the bottom of this channel. What's next? We break that downtrend? Possibly. But this is an opportunity. This is not the, this is not the time for you to be afraid. You've seen worse. This is near protocol at $2.39. If anything, that would be such a great long bet. This is epic chain going against the market, right? Holding very, very well. But we need to watch this, right? We need to watch this. Of course, as the prices come down, we will have an opportunity to look at these lows and see where the fibs take us, right? We've just broken an important level, sitting in the very key zone. And of course, if that breaks, we will be coming back to these levels for sure, below $2. Potentially fantastic scoop. Look at this, H-bar. And I'm looking at blue chips and, big cryptocurrencies. This had a massive pump, but there is a line in the sand right there for H-bar. This is Arweave. Again, I would like my community first and foremost to give all their attention to their blue chips in their portfolio. Of course, because of the whales will flow, money flow will go to these plays first. Micro caps and mid caps will move after that. But what you're starting to see is this is Algorand. There's a big ISO narrative that's coming in November. The cycle just got more clear for people. Again, this is not I told you so or I know anything better than you do. I just spend more time looking at the macro, and this is going to be a great opportunity for anything you can scoop up at these levels. You will look back and you would say, you know what? We saw this and we chilled and we conquered this. These assets are in absolute free fall. The pain is real and nobody can actually say otherwise. So take advantage. Convertuals protocols coming back here to $1. This is great. Not great for people bleeding, but great in the sense that you as an investor stand alone in a period of macro uncertainty, and you are about to take full advantage, and the big money now finally could be made. All right. Like I said, I can't give you more than just telling you exactly what's going to happen. I feel like, I don't know, man, Mystic Meg, I feel like a psychic, but it's not. It's just hard work. And I don't stress about the candle movements in the near to short term. What I'm positioning myself for is that macro pivot that even the economists are afraid of. That is a bit too late. So if we pivot in September, great. If the rate cuts come at 50 basis point, sparkling. One thing I know, money is coming into the space and we're not done yet. So stay informed, like the channel. Like I said, I've now finally completed the VIP setup on the Discord. I'll click on the link in the description, join the family. We talk about these macro events and there are people there. It's not about me, it's about my family. And I clearly put it on there, just $9 a month. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your feelings. And of course, I'll catch you on the next one.